let's talk about what the driver of a Larsen Motorsports car sees during a normal engine start. First of all, that driver is going to have a momentary switch exactly like this in their hands. It's just simply a spring-loaded toggle switch. Want to turn the car over, push the switch down. Want to disengage the starter, let go of the switch. It's plugged through this umbilical cord to the battery pack in the back of the crew truck of the car. Coming down here inside the driver's compartment, the driver is going to have this switch in their left hand. Their right hand is going to be over here on the engine throttle. A couple instruments that are really important during an engine start. The engine RPM, or the tach. The tach is really important when they start the engine spinning over with that electric starter that's actuated by the switch. At 10% RPM, the driver's going to reach over here and roll the throttle forward to the idle position. At that point, the ignition is firing. When they rolled the throttle forward, they gave the engine fuel, and so the engine should light off. When it lights, on the exhaust gas temperature gauge, you're going to start seeing heat come into the engine. The gauge reads in Celsius. We never want to go over 700 degrees Celsius on a Larsen car, the way the fuel system is rigged. Never want to see a number over 700 degrees Celsius during the entire engine start. The light right in the middle here, pretty simple, oil pressure light. As the engine continues to accelerate, the oil pump starts to turn. The light will turn off. That tells the driver you have oil pressure. That's all they need to know. There's no gauge about that. Engine continues to accelerate. At 40%, the driver, what do? They release that starter switch at 40%. The engine will accelerate up to about 45%, the way we have it rigged on our cars. That is the idle speed. How fast is that idle speed? Around 7,000 RPM. And that is this week's tech tip from right here at US 131 Motorsports Park. We're going to see you next week right here on the Larsen Motorsports YouTube channel. We'll see you then.
So these are the things we find Elaine doing. Elaine! What are you doing? Num 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 num. Num 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 num.
Stop it. It's like a...
Do it again, Logan. Do it again. Are you ready to race, Dwayne?
Absolutely. We go at 9 o'clock. US 131 Motorsports Raceway. US Chemical Dominator jet car. We're ready to go.
No, there's no building.
Okay, so both drivers are getting in their cars right now. What is going through your head right now?
Really? The truth? Well, I don't think there's ever been a past. I don't think there's ever been a past that I didn't pray before they went. I can tell you that for sure. But you know, they're getting buckled in their cars, and the cars are great cars, and they're great drivers. But I get nervous every time, and it's just a lot that can happen, right? One of the things that they did probably a couple years ago is they put these LED lights on the backs of the cars under the engine cowling, and I thought that was the dumbest thing, and they colored them up and all that, but it turned out it was such a great safety addition, because you can literally see everything up underneath there with those lights on when the car's idling on the starting line for the leak checks, all that. And then what's really cool is I can look down the track, and when they take off down the track, I can be watching those lights, and I've got to where when the parachutes come out, I know how much of the light off the back of the car is going to fill up that parachute. So I know they got good parachutes now, and I also, I don't see lights tumbling around down there. So I didn't want it, and I found out now I wouldn't want to be without it. But they're really great cars, and we make them as safe as we can. But I really am happy, honestly, at the end of the night when everybody is safe. That's just such a big thing, so that's what I'm thinking, right? And I get really nervous, and Josette, you're recording this, and you see how I get, right before we run. I get super nervous, but just love all of them and just want them to be safe. That's all.
think?
Oh my God.
Does it ever get old?
No, never. Absolutely never.
I'll meet you back there.
Did I red light?
You didn't get a time.
No, I was gonna say, I told you, did Dwayne get a time?
Yeah.
I went all the way through. He went deep, did you see it? Did you put your foot in his beam?
No, Brian was, oh, well, never mind. He wasn't even looking. He was on the other side.
Yeah, and I was on the brakes hard. So super frustrated. It was a good pass, but I got up there and I saw Dwayne went in deep, so I knew he was sliding, so I hurried up. Couldn't hold my car again. The stupid thing just slid through again. Very frustrated. Good clean pass, and I really wanted to see my times because I guarantee it she would have been fast. So frustrated, but good for D. He got the win. He was able to hold his car on the line, and maybe I better do some more squats, okay?
Yum, 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 yum. Num, 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 num.
Reach ball.
And then there's Dwayne.
Well, are we ready?
Good morning, everybody. How are you?
So last night, slid through the lights again, very frustrated, so we had a meeting of the minds. Mainly it was me talking to Larsen saying, okay, we gotta figure this out. So we're going to put VHT on the tires when we get on the starting line. It's something we used to do when we first started running jets, and for some reason we kind of got out of that habit. So we're gonna see if putting it on when we get up on the starting line, if that helps, and I can get a good green light. Dwayne, I'm gonna blame Larsen. He's gonna get his butt kicked tonight. I'm just in my mind. It's already happened.
Hey, keep your hands down if I'm going to win. Thanks.
No, hands up, hands up, hands up.
You got it worked out?
All right, Logan. FIT lost last night. How do you feel?
I mean, we're still ahead. It's fine. So, tell them what it feels like to put me on the starting line. What is your nerves to do that? So the first time they asked me to do that, I kind of was like, oh, you want me to stand where? And I don't know if there's a video of it, but Chris kind of pushed me closer to the middle the first time I went up there to do it. So he was like, oh no, you really have to be right in front of the car. I was like, oh, okay. So that was a little nerve-wracking, not gonna lie. I really, really trust my boss. But now it's gotten a lot better. I fully understand what she's gonna do, and I'm assuming she gets what I'm gonna do. So we have a nice understanding. As long as she can see me and isn't blinded by the sun, then we're doing great.
All right, guys, let's fire them up.
Hey guys, so the VHT worked. I got a great light. I had an 022. The Team Florida Tech won, right? Woo woo! So now it's time to pull ahead again. One for D, one for me, and we're gonna see who takes home the win. Who do you think, girls? Girls rule, baby. Woo woo! High fives.
As it starts, I walk away.
Okay, Dwayne, she's up by 6 again. She beat you last round. Anyway.
Support here.
Anyway, Logan's like dying of laughter over here.
Look, everyone likes to be on the winning team, but the underdogs always come back to win. It's like the New York Yankees, you have the Patriots, everyone just
The Cubs
bandwagons.
for 104 years.
Yeah, and everyone just bandwagons that team, but no one roots for the underdog. But
to jump on the wagon once they're winning.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm
Woo!
talking
We
about.
got original OGs.
Yes, exactly. Who we fear? Nobody. Let's get it up.
Alright, you're gonna have to do it again once we roll it. So here we are at 4:30 in the morning.
It's still last night.
It's the team, same day. Now we're loading into the Mini, getting ready to hit the road. You can't even see us. This is, I still feel it's worth it, don't you?
$1,800.
$1,800 we saved. Worth it. Okay, so we made it to Sanford. Larsen's going to get the car. What did you guys say? What was happening 12 hours ago? We were racing. And we're done. Peace out.